Morning, teachers. This is our new way of doing chapel. It's a new place. It's a whole new, different set of rules. And we hope that you are watching this in the classroom that you're going to be after your second period class. This classroom, this group of students will be the ones you'll be watching chapel each day, usually at 9:35 on Monday with orientation. That will be a little bit different because we'll be sharing the whole time where Mr. Stewart and I will be sharing some things with you. But normally, on a regular school day in your second period class, you'll be right where you are, and hopefully you've been able to connect to this website. If you want to bookmark this on your computer, all you need to do is insert this website or put in every day, just go to cacmustangs.org/chapel, and it'll bring you to this page. We'll have kind of a waiting area if you get there a little bit early, but otherwise we'll be starting right at 9:35 each day. Now this is different, right? This is a different way of doing chapel, and there's some things that we are going to miss from being in the auditorium. Singing is one of those. We can't do that in the same way that we normally would. We can't see each other, and that stinks. That's not the same. You're going to be with that group of students that's in that grade, but that's really all that we're limited to is those faces, and that's a loss. We look forward to the time when we'll be back together in the auditorium or even the gym, right? The gym would be better than this in some ways. But this is what we have, and so we're going to do this as best we can. And there are some things that we can do with this and that this allows us to do that we are excited about. We can still have some fun together. There's some time that we're going to be able to share, and the students will be able to share and interact with each other. So if there's things that we want to share from an event that happened this year, we can do that. We can show videos even through this platform. This is a video of me when I went ziplining with my family a couple weeks ago. That happened. That was a thing. So there's things that we can kind of interact with and engage with that are cool. That'll be fun to kind of share together. This also allows us to maybe include a lot more participation because in chapel normally it would be a big ask to have students or sometimes even teachers to get up in the auditorium and to speak in front of 450 people. Right? It's a big deal. Now, making a video and sharing that with the school is maybe not as difficult, even if that's pre-recorded. We're doing this live right now from my office, so we're all sharing this time together at the same time. But if we wanted to pre-record something and someone wanted to edit a video, that might be easier for a student or teacher to be able to do. Also, the amount of participation we're able to have outside of school is added. We've already enlisted the help of a lot of our community ministers and asked them to share words of wisdom as we go through a study of Proverbs this first 9 weeks or semester. So they'll be sending those videos in, which is easier than asking someone to come and maybe spend their morning with us on campus. So having that capability and flexibility and getting more faces, more voices included in what we call chapel is an added thing. Parents, students, those capabilities, all those things are more flexible. Usually we've had student council be really involved with chapel by doing Fridays, and that will continue to be the case. But we've even added a chapel practicum course where we have some student leaders who are going to be in a class led by one of our faculty members, Mrs. Thomas, who's going to be helping guide them in directing some content for every Friday. So whether that's student council or this chapel practicum course, whether we're able to engage with elementary students or students from on this campus, there's going to be a lot more student engagement that we're going to be able to do on this platform than we've previously done before. Something else I'm excited about this year is the theme that the Student Council has chosen for us. Every year, the Student Council chooses a scripture to be their theme, and it's on the back of their t-shirt, and it's something that we engage with the first week of school and try to come back to throughout the year. This year's theme is particularly significant for me because of what it says, obviously. It's found in 1 Thessalonians 2:8. The scripture says, "So we cared for you. Because we loved you so much, we delighted to share with you not only the gospel of God, but our lives as well." I think this is a really important scripture and something that we can use as both a faculty and as a school community to remind us of what's important. That it starts off just saying, we cared for you and we loved you so much. This community, this family at CAC that we talk about so often, the things that we think are most important about what makes this community different and unique and special and close and like family is that interaction, that love and that care, that compassion that we have each other, the delight that we share with each other. And I even think it's interesting that in the scripture it says that we delight to share with you not only the gospel, almost as if saying we assume, or it's assumed that that's something that we're going to be sharing together. The gospel, we delight in sharing with you that. Of course we do. But our lives as well, right? That more than just the gospel, as strange as that may be to say, more than just that message, more than just scriptures or curriculum or stories or spiritual disciplines or things that we need to hear, we delight in sharing our lives as well. Now I'm going to cue you in on one little thing that I may not share as much with the students. Obviously, when we pull out a scripture, we're pulling it out sometimes a little bit out of context, and we don't always hear the before and the after of that scripture. I want to share that with you today, at least a part of that. When in 2:8, it's kind of the scripture starts kind of midstream. That first part of the scripture says, "So we cared for you." But right before that, Paul is kind of giving a whole thing to the church in Thessalonica, telling how much he cares for them. And the scripture the verse right before this one says that just like a mother cares for its baby, so we cared for you because we loved you so much, and we delighted to share with you not only the gospel, but our lives as well. Our role as adults, our role as teachers, our role as mentors to these kids is going to take on that very nature that Paul felt for the church in Thessalonica, that just like a mother cares for their child, so we care for you. When you have kids come to your class on Monday, it's going to be important that we remember that mission that we have, that purpose that we have to care for these kids who have parents. They have people who are caring for them at home, but who have entrusted us and have honored us with that responsibility to take care of these kids for 8 hours a day. That 8 hours is going to look different than what it normally does, but what doesn't change is the way that care, that concern they have, that they are trusting that just like we have always done as a part of this CAC community, we love these kids as if they were our own. And we delight in sharing not only the gospel with them, but our lives as well. Look forward to this year. I look forward to this space that we share together in what we call chapel, even though it's different. Hope this has been a good practice for you to get on. If there's any concerns you have, we want to hear from you. We want to hear if there's ideas that we need to have. If something didn't work right, if you need to share some input on things on the tech side, please come and talk to us sometime today so we can figure that out for your classroom. Also, as we go through the year, we'd love to hear what things are kind of working well as far as messages go. Or if you have some ideas, if you've gotten to see some things that we can do in this new platform, if that inspires you to think of a message you'd like to share, or if you're in touch with a student maybe who had something that they would like to share, please get in touch with me or Hannah Owens or Rachel Brackens, and we'll get those plugged in to our chapels in the coming weeks. Love you family, and we'll talk to you soon.